crime victims have a chance to find out more about their cases and the status of their offenders. And here to talk more about Victims Visitors Day is Jacqueline Bunn. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, ma'am. So tell us exactly, what is Victims Visitors Day?
It's an opportunity for victims of crime to come and speak one-on-one with members of the Board of Pardons and Paroles. In Georgia, clemency decisions are made by a 5-member board that's appointed by the governor. And I'm one of those board members, and as we make our decisions, we have information about how the perpetrator may be behaving in jail. We have their rap sheet. We know what they've done. The question for us is public safety. At the end of the day, it's all about whether it's safe to release this person or not. And one of the things we want to understand is the impact on the victims. Often in this criminal justice process, victims feel a bit left out.
Absolutely.
You know, the focus is on getting someone arrested, getting them incarcerated, but then at some point there's a possibility that they may be released, and making that decision is a heavy, weighty decision that the board must make.
Yeah.
But we'd like, as part of that process, to know how the victim feels.
Yeah.
And so next Wednesday, the board will be coming in full force to Augusta Technical College from 9 a.m. Pretty much for the entire day.
Yes, ma'am.
To hear from victims. And at this point, we have about 70 victims who have signed up, including about 200 people connected to 70 different cases, basically. Yeah. And we'll have an opportunity to just one-on-one talk to the victims, but there's room for more, so we want the public to be aware.
Yeah, so why was it so important for you guys to have this outlet available for the public to know what's going on?
Because sometimes our files don't include information about victim impact, and it is a critical factor to understand how this incident has had an impact on the victims. And usually it's not just one victim, because if someone is murdered, it impacts an entire family.
Absolutely.
And sometimes generations. If someone gets a life sentence, for example, for murder, at this point in Georgia, it's 30 years before the board considers them.
Wow.
But years ago, it was 7 years, and then 14 years. It's been extended out. So people are in various postures in terms of whether they'll be considered for release or not. So it's very important that we hear from victims and understand, you know, how crime has had an ongoing impact on their lives.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Jacqueline, let's just say I want to come to your event, but I just don't have time to come out there. Is there another event? Is there another way that we can talk to you guys?
Oh, absolutely. The board always is open and receptive to hearing from victims. We actually have an office within the Board of Pardons and Paroles for victim services. And if they go to our website, www.pap.ga.gov, there's a link to our victim services unit. And it's important too, if at all possible, that they sign up, because the Office of Victim Services will keep them notified about what's going on with the violator.
That's good.
If they're coming up for consideration, if they're going to be released, so you can be notified. And then at that point, if you want to send something in, and the other thing I want people to know is it's confidential.
That's good.
You know, because people are going to wonder, if I send something in, will this person know?
Yes, ma'am.
And at this Victims Visitors Day on Wednesday at Augusta Technical College, it's all about victims. There will be no violators there. If they're wondering, you know, will the person be there? Well, no, it's about the victim.
All right, sounds good. We'll have that information on WJBF.com. Ms. Jacqueline, thank you so much for coming.
Oh, thank you for having us.
I appreciate it.
All right.
All right, your Live Viper 6 forecast is up next.